I mean, you know, the original cartoon came out in 1937, and very evidently so. There's a big focus on her love story with a guy who literally stalks her.
Yeah.
Weird. It's really not about the love story at all, which is really, really wonderful. And whether or not she finds love along the way is anybody's guess until 2024. All of Andrew's scenes could get cut. Who knows? It's Hollywood, baby. Weird. Who knows? It's Hollywood, baby. Who knows? It's Hollywood, baby. Weird. Who knows? It's Hollywood, baby. It's Hollywood, baby.
What's going on, everyone? Jeremy here from The Quartering. I hope you're having an absolutely wonderful day. I've got some excellent news for all of you. You're going to want to hit that thumbs up button right away. You're definitely going to want to because you're going to love this video. Actions have consequences, as it would appear. And if you've been following my channel, and if you're new here, please do click that subscribe or follow button down below. It's the only way that you'll find my videos, and I greatly appreciate if I could earn that today. If you've been following my channel, Rachel Zegler, the star of the woke new Snow White remake, which is all about a strong, independent woman who don't need no man, who called Prince Charming a creep, called the movie outdated and gross and weird, all the type of things, completely disrespecting the franchise and the Disney princess history. You know that basically everyone hates her, even more than Brie Larson. Well, now Disney has fired her, and this amazing story is just so good because this is on the heels of new reporting that the Snow White movie has to make historic money at the box office just to break even. And we know that's not going to happen because people have flat out stopped going to see these movies for a couple of reasons. One, well, the mainstream media scared everybody into going into a room with more than 3 people ever again. 2, Rachel Zegler is wildly unlikable. 3, people are sick of Disney's propaganda and their woke reimaginings of the classic films. Even the movie Little Mermaid, which had very little controversy outside of the obvious race swap, didn't make any money at the movie theater because nobody cares about this stuff anymore. And this story is awesome. By the way, want to let you know my coffee company has launched today a brand new flavor, butterscotch toffee. It's absolutely delicious, available in whole bean and ground. This in addition to our other fall flavor lineups: pumpkin pie, spiked jack-o'-lantern, maple, pecan, strawberries, and cream. If you use promo code The Quartering, not only will you save, but I'll know that you came from this video, and I absolutely would love to earn your support today. We roast our own beans. We fulfill our own orders. We're not some drop ship organization. We're a real company with real employees, and we'd love to earn your support. Rachel Zegler's Snow White must make a huge amount just to break even. Snow White's live-action remake had headlines for all the wrong reasons in 2022. After an interview of Rachel Zegler, who is taking on the main character role, did the rounds online. In the clip, she slams the original animated version as weird, describes Prince Charming as a stalker, and jokes that his scenes will be cut from the movie. She also describes changing the focus of the plot from a true love to female empowerment. The internet has been in arms ever since, with another resurfaced video of Zegler doing the rounds online, old dramas being dragged up, and talks of boycotting the star's next movie too. And here's where things get spicy. So she's got 2 movies coming up. Paddington 3, which Paddington Bear movies, I guess, are very good. I don't know. It's like an internet phenomenon. And some prequel to the Hunger Games that nobody cares about. I see Disney's doubling down on the audience legacy baiting strategy. Rachel Zegler is raising the bar in terms of unlikable, makes Brie Larson look just detached and uninterested. Now everyone is talking about Snow White movie, but will people put on the cinema? Will this be put on the cinema?
The original cartoon came out in 1937, and very evidently so. There's a big focus on her love story with a guy who literally stalks her.
Yeah.
Weird.
Super weird.
So we didn't do that this time. Cast a guy in the movie,
Right.
Andrew Burnap, great dude. All of Andrew's scenes could get cut. Who knows? It's Hollywood, baby.
If I'm going to stand there 18 hours in a dress of an iconic
iconic Disney princess. I deserve to be paid for every hour that it is streamed online.
Yeah. There is innumerable clips like that as well. But what about Snow White? Despite the vitriolic reaction, the movie hasn't yet been canceled, but there are talks of Disney fans boycotting the live-action remake. A new report shows Snow White's spending so far estimates that Disney will need to earn approximately $336 million to break even. That's not even the correct number. That's not even close to the real number. The real number is something like 700 million. They're saying they spent 300 million on it, but they're not talking, like, none of these idiots understand how the actual market works. I don't know if they purposely lie or what the case is, but like it's insane, because when you take a movie and you have the budget, remember that the general rule of thumb is it's the budget doubled to break even because of advertising, and plus they don't take 100% of the box office. They only take 25, 35%. Some cases 50%, it depends. Disney does have some specific deals. The Walt Disney Company had already spent $210 million as of July 31st. That movie's not even done. So if you take the spend on this movie, you see Rachel Zegler's Snow White looks like it will have a final production cost of $300 million, which means they have to gross $600 million at the box office just to break even. You know, typically she explains, studios typically receive 55% of the box office grosses from domestic theaters and 43% from international. Taking the average of 43 and 55 gives roughly a 50-50 split of the box office. Then concludes, if Disney retains 50% of takings from Snow White, the movie will need to gross $336.4 million just to cover the baseline spend. But none of this includes marketing. However, as noted above, given there are clearly quite a bit of production costs that are still likely to come, as post-production and marketing could see the film needing to bring in at least $750 million at the box office. That's using a conservative 2.5x factor for Valiant Brigade's $300 million minimum production. I mean, given the massive budget, it's unlikely the film will recoup costs, given the live-action Little Mermaid only grossed $569 million. This movie is doomed to make money. Disney has no choice. It must release controversial, offensive Snow White film. Many Disney fans want Walt Disney to scrap the release of the upcoming Snow White remake altogether, but Disney reportedly has no choice but to release it and ensure that it's a blockbuster film. Disney's newest live-action Take-Two film, simply titled Snow White, was directed. Don't care. The controversy, we already know. Dwarves, no dwarves. Remember, they're no longer dwarves. An entitled star, a brat actress who really has not, I don't think she's ever been in a movie that's actually made any money. I mean, all this kind of stuff. There's just nothing here, but they've got so money. Much to their dismay, Disney fans who are hoping in earnest that Disney will scrap the release of Snow White film scheduled for March 2024 release, there's no chance of that happening, and for a good reason. Disney has gotten itself into position, and now the company has no choice in the matter. The new film must be released, and it doesn't stop there. And then they talk about the gross. Now, again, everyone misreports the gross. It's much higher. And then today, Snow White star Rachel Zegler fired from movie after Backlash. Rachel Zegler first gained widespread recognition for her role in Steven Spielberg's 2021 adaptation of West Side Story, by the way, which was a massive flop, losing millions and millions of dollars. But nonetheless, while filming Disney's live-action Snow White, Zegler has received much backlash due to her comments she's made. Zegler had been put on blast by many Disney enthusiasts over quotes were shared. She never even really watched Snow White as a kid, and that it seemed weird and all this kind of stuff, that it's outdated, blah, 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 blah. Now, while there's been plenty of backlash surrounding Snow White live-action remake, we do have news to pass along for Rachel Zegler in another popular children's movie. According to reports, she has been cut from Paddington 3. Rachel Zegler's initially cast for the role in the film had to be recast due to the ongoing strikes in Hollywood. Paddington was directed by Paul King and produced by Dave Heyman. The first movie introduces the world of Paddington Bear, a polite, lovable bear, blah, 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 blah. I think it's pretty funny. It's filming in Peru. Paddington 3 continues the tradition of having Ben Whishaw provide the voice cast, all this stuff. So, Paddington 3 continues without Rachel Zegler, and everyone said the same thing. Unless you've been off the grid the past couple months and aware that Rachel Zegler Snow White scandal, it all stems from a 2020 interview where she was a real brat. Now the new twist on the ongoing saga has arrived. The news that Paddington 3 is continuing without Zegler, but there's a pretty reasonable reason behind it. I mean, okay, this is the spin, right? They could have waited for her. If they actually wanted her, they could have waited. There's no question about it. There's films all over Hollywood that people are waiting. Paddington 3, aka Paddington in Peru, is going to be continuing filming in the UK without Rachel Zegler, and it appears the news has caused some confusion, with many people now questioning whether the star had been dropped from Disney's Snow White live-action remake. This is after a number of publications shared headlines alluding to the idea, including Inside the Magic, which wrote Snow White star Rachel Zegler dropped from film. Film will be recast. Elsewhere, Disney Dining shared the headline Snow White star axed from movie after Backlash. I mean, she's not dropped from Snow White, but people don't want this. People don't want this. Another speculator, Zegler didn't get fired from Disney Snow White because of strikes. She got fired because she was bad-mouthing the source material. No. Paddington cut her because I'm sure they didn't want to be associated with her at all. They're saying that it's the strikes. The prequel is being filmed in the UK, which has covered its own actors union. Zegler is part of the Hollywood strike. It's yet to be confirmed by the studio whether Zegler will be recast. They will be recast. There have been plenty of comments around the situation as it unfolds. Paddington 3 film wraps in 2 weeks, and Rachel Zegler was recast due to the strikes. Now, if they really wanted Rachel Zegler, don't you think they would have waited? Pretty sure they would have. Pretty sure they would have taken the time to make sure that they recast her and got her. So they got rid of. Nobody wants this woman. And wait till Snow White loses another 200, 300 million for Disney in March. This woman has never made money in any movie she's ever been in, and she's probably the least likable woman in Hollywood altogether. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you leave a like on it. Make sure to go head on over to Coffee Brand Coffee, link in the description. Promo code TheQuartering to save. Get your butterscotch toffee. We'll talk to you again real soon.